The first election on American soil, according to the great historian George Bancroft, occurred in Salem, Massachusetts. The issue? Choosing a minister and choosing a Christian teacher for the colony. That was in 1629. Historian Paul Johnson writes in his 1997 classic, A History of the American People, quote, "In a sense, the clergy were the first elected officials of the new American society, a society which to that extent had a democratic element from the start," end quote. And Christians in America have been voting ever since. However, in recent decades, there's arisen a feeling among some professing believers that somehow it is spiritual to not participate in something as worldly as politics, or for whatever reason, they simply don't vote. Many are not even registered to vote. And so today, we find ourselves in such a mess in America that the very least Christians could do is to vote and to vote our biblical values. About 10 years ago, Alveda King, the born-again and pro-life niece of MLK, made some interesting observations about Christians and voting. Alveda said, "I hear remarks from both sides of the aisle, God's not a Republican and God's not a Democrat, and so we as God-fearing people don't need to try to lock in a position to a political party. But certainly our votes must always follow our values," end quote from Alveda. And those values must be informed, she notes, by the Scriptures. And certainly one of those values is life. Meanwhile, today the left is embracing abortion to the hilt. But when we vote biblical values, we obey what the Lord would have us to do. We know that there are a lot of polls out there. This candidate's winning at this point. This candidate's winning at that point. But the only real poll that counts is the one you cast at election time. Don't sit this one out. As the late Bishop Harry Jackson once declared, quote, "Too many people died for the right of all people in the nation to vote," end quote. For Coral Ridge Ministries, I'm Dr. Jerry Newcombe.